Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Malcolm. You're on Malcolm Talks once again. It's been a minute, but I'm back. You know, right now, I want to talk about some things that are a little bit controversial. And it's about aliens, man. It's about aliens and the potential origins of human beings. Because a lot of you might not know, or maybe you haven't done the research a little bit. We might not even be from here, man. Like, I'm from Atlanta. You know, you're from somewhere else. You might be from Atlanta too. You might be from England, Europe, Egypt, wherever. But at the end of the day, we're all earthlings, right? But there might be whole civilizations from different worlds that interact with us. We all heard about the Big Bang, and we know that the universe is, from what they're saying, the universe is actually infinite. So if you got any sense, you got to know that there has to be other life outside of just us. What you might not have thought about, though, is the intelligent life that does exist in this universe, or even in our solar system. Yeah, our own solar system, let alone our galaxy. The intelligent life, they might be humanoids. They might look like us with just a little slight variations. You know, I've been listening to a guy, his name is Billy Carson. Super smart guy. Look him up on YouTube, man. I listen to a lot of his stuff, and he's opened my mind to a lot of different things in terms of just some of the old ancient text. I'm talking about old stuff like tablets, you know, like hieroglyphics, deciphering what's on those tablets, and the Dead Sea Scrolls, and all these different things, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, all this type of stuff. These old writings. And evidently, guys, a lot of those writings are telling stories that are depicted in the Bible long before the Bible was ever written. Now, I can't be super specific on the dates and things like that, but it's something that you can go research yourself. But evidently, man, about 500,000 years ago, there was an alien species that came to Earth to colonize Earth. Some people call them Atlanteans, which is interesting, given that I'm from Atlanta. So it's like, oh yeah, I like that, Atlantean, you know what I mean? But you might have heard terms like Anunnaki. So Anunnaki and Atlantean and all that means is, you know, humanoid beings that came from a different galaxy. I mean, a different star system. Like, we live in a star system. We got the sun, you got Venus, Earth, Mars, you know, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, you know, all those planets that revolve around the sun, right? Well, evidently, our sun revolves around something. Our sun actually revolves around like some type of brown dwarf star or something like that. And we're part of like what's called a binary star cluster system. Like, we tend to think, man, that in our solar system, that's it. And then when you go way out, all that other stuff is way out there, far, far away. Well, it's only far, far away because we don't understand how to get there. You know, it's just so far away. But there might be different beings out there that have already visited our planet plenty of times. But I'm gonna go back. So a long, long time ago, some ancient beings, they came down to Earth, and then they ruled over Earth. So they had this thing where they actually genetically modified a worker class. They genetically modified a worker class because I think that when they came, they were already like Neanderthal type people here already. Now mind you, these Neanderthal type people, they weren't dumb. They weren't monkeys or apes. They were like Neanderthals. You know, they might have had intelligence. You know, they were kind of like us. The only difference is they probably had bigger pineal glands, or they might have had like different adaptations that allowed them to maybe communicate telepathically even. Like they had the ability to do certain things. Of course, nowadays we have a whole lot more technology, but they had technology back then too. It was just different. It was the type of technology that will allow you to build a pyramid, for instance. So evidently, I know I say that word a lot, they genetically modified the people that were already here so that they would be the worker class and do the bidding of the people that came from outer space or whatever. Now, these people that came from outer space, as the story goes, now mind you, all of this stuff is theory, guys. It's just interesting research to kind of look into. The people that came here, they weren't from one place. They might have been from all over. A lot of different star clusters within our galaxy. They were called the Atlanteans, like I said. So they genetically tampered with the beings that were already here, and they created us. Now, I know that's controversial because, you know, when you look at the story of creation from the Bible, it paints a much more, I guess you could say, simplistic picture of it. You know, but who's to say what's true and what's not? It's hard to tell, man. But I will say this. We don't know all the answers. But during that time, the pyramids were built. Some people say those pyramids might be much, much older than we even think they are. And when you look at the structure of the pyramids, you can look this up. You start measuring the base of some of those pyramids. I think it's like 80-something pyramids on Earth. Some big, some tall. But I think the main pyramid that's in Giza or something like that, that pyramid has within it mathematical and astrological mathematical calculations embedded within it, where, you know, it's crazy stuff like the circumference of the base is equal to the, you know, if you multiply it by 10 to the 9th power, it's the exact dimensions from Earth to the sun or something. Or like, if you measure one side of it times 10 to the 5th power, it's the exact dimension of the height of all the land masses on Earth, or something crazy. Like, I'm not getting it just right, but built within the structure, there are mathematical anomalies that are very hard to understand, because, you know, we didn't have that type of technology. As a matter of fact, it's been said that the only way we could have built something like that, or beings, whoever they were, could have built something like that, that built within the structure, it maps out all these mathematical conundrums about Earth, about the mathematics behind Earth's circumference, how fast it spins, how fast it's going around the sun, you know, the distance of the nearest star and all this other stuff. How are they able to do that? We don't know. We don't even know how it was built. And then, what's so crazy, man, when you line up all of the pyramids on Earth and you start drawing points in between them, and then you do a little bit of mathematics, the placement of these pyramids, it shows you in perfect detail, like our star system that exists in our galaxy. Like, it's crazy. I saw a video, man, where they took NASA's telescope images and literally overlaid and layered like the location points of the pyramids on Earth, you know, just scaled down. So it's, a lot of people have been theorizing that these pyramids, they were built for a reason, but they were primarily built not only to let, you know, future generations know how smart they were, but also to somehow connect and communicate to outside worlds. Because why is it in the shape of a pyramid? What's inside the pyramids? It's been said that there's ancient technology that exists within these pyramids that allow for different scientific reactions, like electricity and all this other stuff, to shoot some type of beam like through the crest of the pyramid up. And man, I'm just saying, man, that there's a body of knowledge out here that we just don't know. You know, I've been doing research on dimensions, and, you know, because we live in the third dimension, but there's other dimensions. And the way it all works, and this is why manifestation and all these kind of things, it seems like magic, but all of it is really connected. Because once you realize that we live in an infinite universe, what does that mean? Well, that means that each one of us has power to tap into the thoughts and the frequencies of every human being. I'm gonna say a humanoid being that exists. And so there could be parallel universes. There could be a billion other Malcolms walking around on something that looks a lot like Earth. That's what I'm saying. And all of us might be tuned into the same frequencies. Follow me now. So that whenever I think something, that thought goes out like an energetic force that is then able to link with other thought waves, and it's almost like a portal. So I'm able to like connect basically and bring a reality into my own dimension, because as above, so below. So whenever you think something, that's actually beginning the manifestation process, which means it already exists. It's just a matter of pulling it into your reality, your dimension. It exists somewhere already. These shades right here, somebody thought about this first before they created it. They had a thought. They sat down, they thought, they were like, man, if I had some shades on, if I had something that could shield my eyes from the sun, that would make it so I don't have to squint like this. So they thought about it. They thought about it. They thought about it. As they had these thoughts, it sent out information. Information in the form of a frequency, or I guess you could say a light wave. We can't see it. It's kind of like infrared. Like you need a certain type of camera to be able to see what's being emitted. Like each one of us, our consciousness, our thoughts, it's emitting something. Sort of like a radio wave.